Good morning. Happy Memorial Day. If they say it that way, I'm not really sure. um, we're actually going to take Memorial Day into consideration today and just taking time to remember all the people that have lost their lives in service of this country. But I'd like to expand it to all people who have served for their countries in the entire world, and that we remember them as well, remembering or recalling or recognizing that giving one's life to something that they view as greater than themselves. There is something very important about that, and we can extend that into all forms of service, serving others, losing our lives for others. So if there's also something that is like a movement that's really important to you, like civil rights movement, if you want to also expand your um, uh, time to expand that recognition to others as well, please do so. My way of doing it is I really do like to think about all people who have served in war and all people who have died in war, whether they were serving or not, because war is so atrocious. It's so such a hard thing to live through, die from, everything. Nobody really wants war. Um, well, we can argue about that in different ways. So we'll begin that way, and then what we're going to do is have this practice be this way to start our week, a way to set an intentional week. And I really like to consider this as intentional wake up for the week, and it's a gentle way to do it. So we'll start off in seated. And let's just bring palms together, thumbs to the heart center, close the eyes. By the way, today is a good day to have blocks around, so make sure those are nearby. And just relax the face, relax the jaw. Watch the breath. You can rest the hands on the knees, and just for a moment now, let's send thoughts of peace and gratitude and love to all of those that you want to bring to mind for Memorial Day. Only focusing on what we've decided to focus on. Sending thoughts of peace. sending this feeling of gratitude in whatever way that means for you, and love. And then we'll take a breath in, release out through the mouth, bring the palms together, keep the eyes closed, and we're going to now move into setting an intention for just at this moment for this practice, just for this practice alone. What do you want this practice to do? What do you want to accomplish in this practice? How do you want to feel? So locating that desire and resolving to give ourselves up to that desire and let it be. We'll chant Om Namah Shivaya 3 times, remembering our own divinity within. That divinity is connected with all others. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. And we will bow and begin our physical practice by coming down to your back or your side. So we are going to start as if we're asleep. This will be or has been the trend so far since last week. And I really love to bring bolsters between knees or blocks between knees, something to rest the head on, to just feel like you are asleep at this time. So find that position and then totally relax the body, totally relax the body. Just like you are asleep, not controlling the body in any way. And we're going to breathe very specifically. And so what this breath will be like is a nice deep inhale and a little shorter exhale. Big inhale, shorter exhale. Inhale, exhale. Not a full exhale. So usually we do this really long exhalation. This is going to be different. So keep going. Longer inhalation, a little shorter, gentle exhalation. Now this is a breath, keep going, this is a breath that mimics the way that we breathe when we're sleeping. And Yogananda points out that, this sort of breath is accomplishing so much for us when we are sleeping. It is literally restoring prana, all the prana we have spent through the day. We get tired because that prana, you could think of it as getting thinner, or having less of it within. And we need to be able to replenish. So this breath for 8 hours or so helps us do that. Now as you do this, you can sense probably that you're getting a little tired. So isn't that interesting? It's because we're getting less carbon dioxide out of the system. Just relax that breath and just go into whatever feels natural, something that you don't have to force or control in any way. And then just watch the breath as the body is breathing. It's as if it's the first time you're waking up today. And maybe it is. Maybe it's the first time you're actually waking up in a conscious way. But let's slowly begin to, with the eyes closed, realize that we are here on the mat. We're alive. We're just in a deep slumber. Remembering we have a body. Begin to deepen the breath. It's nice to have a body. And then slowly just begin to open the eyes and wake up the mind and start to see, look around, use the senses now. As you open the eyes wide, maybe you start to move very gently in the body. Small movements to start. You just woke up. Maybe a nice yawn. And finding maybe bigger movement now. To maybe coming to the back and finding extension with the limbs. They say it's important to not jump out of bed, to kind of ease out. So we're going to do this consciously. So begin to find a little bit more movement. Maybe head moves, hands, feet. Now if there's something else that just feels right, maybe, you start to lift a leg, maybe the other, maybe both. And then we're going to lift the knees, draw them into the chest, bring the arms around the knees and start to rock a little bit side to side, but check out the shoulder blades. So find some motion if you can with the shoulders. And then maybe find some motion with the head. Maybe you take the knees and sway them to one side and move the head in the opposite direction, or maybe they all go in the same direction. But just kind of play around. And then we'll come into a happy baby. Grab a hold of the feet and then lift the feet upwards. You can keep the knees bent and find a little motion here as well. The motion can be small, it can be big. You might extend a leg and like roll to the side and bend the other leg, whatever is right, whatever feels good. Now we're going to shift into Ujjayi Pranayama. If you haven't already, know that when we're in these slower practices, it's not necessary, but it is easier to regulate the breath and to make sure that we kind of maintain that breath, body, mind connection and not lose track of it. So when you're ready, inhale through the nose, open the mouth, fog it out. Mouth stays open, fog in. Close the mouth, exhale through the nostrils. And we will start to release the feet take them forward. Now we're going to do something. It's going to be a little intense for some, but if you're taking any blood pressure medications, I'm going to suggest you not do this. We're going to be finding a breath of fire, and it's going to be a very short period. So breath of fire in a position that is challenging. And these are forceful and quick inhalations and exhalations. So it's a and see that the belly is rising and falling. And the inhale, expansion, exhale, it draws in. Now you can double time that so it can sound like this. It's very powerful. So again, if you start to feel uncomfortable, doesn't feel right, then just don't do it and breathe normally. So on the next inhale, lift the head, the arms, and then maybe you also lift a leg or both legs. Let's see. Okay, now go ahead and lower, relax. I had to fidget with something there. We're going to do that again. So inhale, head, arms, maybe 2 legs or 1. And then exhale, lower. Now we're going to do this a few more times. And then lowering. So inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Relax just for a moment. So I know this isn't like you said, it's a gentle morning. But we're also going to wake up. So there's 2 things happening at the same time. Okay. So the next inhale, rise up, and then begin breath of fire. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and relax. Totally relax, release. So feeling like the trunk got massaged with this. We're going to do 1 more set. So when you're ready, inhale, lift, big exhale, and then begin. Deep breath in, and relax. Come back to a happy baby. Okay, so we're going to lower the left foot and keep a hold of this right leg. Let's keep it bent and flex the foot for a moment. As it's bent, draw the leg in closer, and then just release. We're going to draw the leg in closer. Now push the foot into the hands, and then release. Draw it in, push it in, and then release. Now we'll just draw it in and climb up this bent leg, finding hands maybe towards the foot. Keep drawing the toes in so there's flexion in the ankle. So here, let's bring the left hand to the back of the head and just support the head for a moment. And release. Lower this foot. Lift the left leg. Hold this left leg with the hands. Keep the knee bent. And we'll go ahead and draw it in a little closer. Push the leg into the hands and then release. Draw the leg closer. Create resistance. The hands are also pushing back into the leg. And then release. Again. And now we'll keep this leg as close as we can and lift the head and walk the hands maybe up towards the foot or to the calf, wherever you can reach, without straining the neck. Feel what the neck is like. See if you can relax the neck, even though it's a little active right now. We'll take the hand behind the head. Now give it some support. And lower the head, lower the foot. Extend the limbs, find some length. And we'll bring the knees in. Rock over to one side. Rest here for a moment. And then when you're ready, begin to rise. Press your way up. We are going to use blocks or books today, so make sure that you have them. Find them. Now see if you have a wall close by. So, like one that's clear. And if not, it's okay, you don't have to use it. So if you do, you're going to sit against this wall and take the shoulders back towards the wall, and you will bring the block between the feet and have the soles of the feet pressing into the block. So this is helpful because you've got all the support behind you. You don't have to really work the trunk. But without it, you're going to take hands behind, and the hands will be the support. So I'm going to do this just so that I know what that's like. Fingers can face back. Now what we'll do is take about 3 deep breaths and really push the feet into the block. 3 deep breaths, continual pressure. So this is going to help release the inner thighs. And then relax the legs. Take a deep breath in. We'll clear it out through the mouth. And then once again, 3 deep breaths, pushing continuously into the block. See if one leg is pushing harder than the other, and then balance that out. I'm going to feel this in the hamstrings as well. We're really opening tight spaces here. This is also helpful for the outer hips. And release, relax. Shall we do one more time? Yes. So clear a breath. And then when you're ready, push in 3 deep breaths. And release. You can take the block away. Now we have these legs really open, the inner thighs. We're going to now go the other route and come into a cow face posture. So from here, we will bring the knees on top of each other. We could start with the right knee on top, so I'm not in a mirror image. And just see if this is possible. And if it's not, you can sit on a block or a blanket. You might get a little closer to it. And if you have foot on top of leg, that's cool. If you have ankles crossed, that's fine too. Just whatever works. And then what we'll do is have hands on top, that top knee sitting up nice and tall. Let's roll the shoulders as we're here. Now the traditional, like what I've seen, is we'd actually be sitting on a heel here. But usually this is the way that, we do it. It's more available, I think. Now we can begin to sit up even taller, and we're just going to start to shift and take some twists. So on the inhale, bring left hand to that outer right thigh, or maybe it's the forearm, left hand behind, and then twist and turn to the right, and then we'll just switch. Opposite hand to that top leg, twisting to the left, then come to center and twist to the right. And we're just going to go through this nice and slow, and you can coordinate the breath, moving on the exhale to one side, moving on the inhale to the other, or maybe you go slower than that. And exhale to a side, Inhaling to center and exhaling to the other side. Now come to center. Let's actually coordinate this a little bit better. So we're going to rise. I've never done this before. So I've done variations of this in terms of those twists. So let's inhale, reach the arms up. On the exhale, twist to one side. On the inhale, come back to center. Arms up. On the exhale, twist to the other. And then this is the way we'll go, so that we have the twist action occurring on the exhalation. Going to go a little longer. And then find center. Take the hands behind the back, and you're going to hold one wrist with the fingers on the other hand. And you're just going to relax the arms, relax the shoulders, and then begin to fold here. So this is a blend of two postures. Yoga mudra, so this is with the hands. It's the hand gesture that typically often is practiced, as I understand it, like after our practice is over, the very last part of the practice, kind of absorbing what has occurred. Let's just absorb what has occurred so far as we've been waking up. We might let the head go. And just notice, which fingers is holding which wrist, so that we're even on the other side. Take a clearing breath here in and out. We'll start to unroll the spine, rise up. Head is the last to rise. This right leg is on top. We're going to take it out to the right into like a half V formation. So right leg out, left foot centered. And then we're going to begin to fold here. So you might have blocks to help you with this one. See if you can do this without rounding the back for the most part. So, might be something that doesn't seem like it's very yoga posture like. That's really okay. Just keep the spine nice and long and focus on where this is working in the body. It is in the inner thigh, it's in the back of the right leg. Keep the right foot flexed. If it's really hard to be here, you can bend that right knee, keeping the foot flexed. Now we will use the breath to kind of exaggerate what is occurring in the body. So on the inhale, lift the trunk halfway. On the exhale, release, relax in. Without rounding the back. Inhale. You might sigh out. Give the body the cue. It's time to relax these spaces. Inhaling. Exhale, opening. A few more. And then once you exhale and feel like you've deflated a little bit here, releasing tension, feeling some open spaces, can let the head go and just be here for a moment. And then begin to walk up and switch the legs. So we started with a cow face posture. That's where we're going to go. Now we'll have the left knee on top. Okay, we'll bring hands to that top knee. Roll the shoulders just like we did before. Now, roll the shoulders in the opposite direction. So this time, if you didn't do it before, we're going to emphasize the shoulder blades. When we're finding those twists, we really want to find them digging into the back muscles. So keeping that in mind as often as you can. One day I'll stop giving those reminders because that's just the way it works. So going in like rhythms and phases of focusing on one thing for maybe weeks and then moving on to the next. So that I'm not always on the same thing and we're constantly learning together. So now we'll go ahead and begin to find those twists. And we will twist as we did before, just kind of going to one side and then the other. And first just finding your own movement and breath and rhythm. It's going from left to right. This time really aware of the shoulder blades and their function here. And then we will start to coordinate the breath, so we're specifically twisting on the exhalation. So when you're ready, come to center, inhale, take the arms up, exhale, twist. Inhale, arms up, exhale, twist. Keep going. And then one more time, just twisting, evening. We'll find the arms lifting. And then we'll exhale, take the hands behind and find opposite fingers to the other wrist at this time. And then we'll begin to fold. So in many ways, this prevents us from rounding the back. Like we have a rope around the body. And then we can just use this time to help digest what we have done so far. Maybe a nice clearing breath. And begin to rise. Take the left leg out to the left and then center the right foot. Okay, flex the left foot and begin to come into that fold. Now this might be plenty and maybe just a slight lean forward. You might be getting a lot out of that based on how much tightness you have in these spaces. Otherwise, maybe hinge a little bit more forward. Remembering not to round the back at this time. We're going to do some work with the back in a moment, but let's Be here. Fold. Breathe. About 5 breaths before we incorporate some motion. All right, so let us start now kind of exaggerating what's occurring. So the next inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, release. Inhaling. Exhale. And then you might fold and take a couple deep breaths. And we will rise. Let's come out of the seat and find ourselves in a table posture, hands and knees. A few cat-cows here. Inhaling, belly relaxing, head shifts up. Exhale, belly engaging, head shifts down. And a few more of these. Let's come to neutral spine. The next inhalation, lift the right leg, press through the heel, toes are shifting down towards the mat, so that whole leg is lifted. Then see if you can bring the eyes, like lift the head slightly, look past the mat slightly, or even a little bit more forward. Blur the vision. Now you can see the tip of the nose. Next inhale, you might lift the left arm, coming into a spinal balance. Next exhalation, bring the knee and the hand down. On the next inhale, lift the left leg up, press through the heel. Make sure you're not sinking into the shoulder girdle like this. You want to press into the palms and have some activity. And then when you're ready, shift weight over to the left arm. If this is too much, if you have wrist issues, you can come down to the forearm if that's better for you. You can also, there's other options, but let's just be here again. About 3 more breaths. And exhale, lower. Next inhale, lift the right arm upwards. A little bit of a twist here. Exhale, bring the hand down. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, bring the hand down. Take a few more of these. Inhaling and exhaling. And one more time, going to both sides. After this left side, we will bring the hands down, slide the hands forward, and come into Anahatasana, heart chakra posture. Forehead comes down to the mat. Now as you're here, just kind of like, might feel funny, start to guide the shoulders in circles. And you're going to probably feel that the elbows are moving. And then you might shoulder circle the other way. Kind of feel like a duck like this, something about it. So sense the shoulder blades moving around. And then you might keep taking them back a couple times, circling back. And then relax here by sending the arms forward, forehead down, deep breaths in. On the exhale, sending the heart further towards the mat. Tailbone shifting up. Another deep breath. And then we'll rise up to table posture. And we're going to come back to a seat for a moment. Now find the wall again if you were able to use it. Something a little bit more challenging, same idea, but we're going to elevate the feet this time. So from here, we will have the block like this. Bring the feet on top of the block. Now, this is going to be easier with the wall behind, but there's ways that we can keep the spine tall. We can hold the ankles and do that either way, whether you have the wall or not. So I can sense, tension rising in my neck as I'm here. So I'm going to move the head. I always encourage that. Find the movement so you can release that tension and then come back into the posture more relaxed. And as you're here, you might feel some pressure released in the low back. Relax the eyes, the face, the jaw. Two more breaths. And we will release. So another good way to open up some tight spaces in the inner thighs and the hamstrings. Let us find maybe sitting on the heels this time. So you might curl the toes and then bring your bottom right to the heels themselves. If that's too much, at any point if it becomes too much, you can bring tops of the feet to the mat. And this will just help us kind of change our position a little as we focus on the arms. Bring the arms upwards. Just feel this for a moment. Draw the chin in slightly. Let the eyes be level to the ground. Find opposite elbows with the hands. And begin to press the head into the arms. You can feel this in the upper back. And then releasing. Bring the hands down. We're going to take a side bend from here. So bring the right hand or fingers down. Reach the left arm up and over. Come to the other side. And come back to center, arms reaching up, and then find hands to opposite elbows again. Press into the arms with the head. Release, arms up, find a side bend. Switch sides. And then come to center. Just cross one arm in front of the chest, hook that arm in with the opposite, drawing interlocked elbows, right? Drawing that arm in closer and closer towards the chest. Switching sides. And releasing. Find a seat on the bottom, cross the ankles. We'll work with the head a little bit. Hands to knees, drop the chin to the chest. Nice 2 breaths here. Hopefully feeling the body has woken up a little bit more. That feeling is, it's going to be different than when you first wake up, right? There's a sense of like being closed up like a flower when you first wake up, and then that nice opening. Now let's start to circle the head. Some flowers, they're so beautiful. I love those flowers that close in the evening and they open in the daylight. They're so fun to watch. It's like these living beings just right there, like so amazing. We're going to switch in the opposite order. And one of my favorite flowers is a succulent. I don't know the name. They're very tiny flowers. There's so many in one bundle. And they do that. They close up at night. They open up in the morning. Now once the chin finds the chest, shake the head out. Bring the head to center, tilt the head to one side, take a couple deep breaths, maybe roll that opposite shoulder. And bring the head to center, tilt in the opposite direction, loosen up the opposite shoulder, settle it down, couple breaths. And then we'll come to center. Now, with legs crossed or foot in front of shin, we will find yogi or yoga mudra. So take the hands behind and just bring fingers to opposite wrist and then begin to fold here. Head might find the floor, it might not. Either way. Just be in this. Feel the echoes of your practice. Begin to rise. Once you've risen, switch the order of the ankles and the order of the hands. Lower. Rise, and then come to lying down on the back, all the way down, finding Shavasana. So maybe you want to go into Shavasana the way that we started, in that sleep-like position. Maybe you want to find something else. Once you go there, walk the shoulders back, and then release the control of the arms. Let the body get heavier. Feel the softening of the whole body. Feel the softening of the eyes, softening of the face. Might take a breath in and out. Having waken up, having come into this conscious awakening of body and mind, rest. Now before you move anything, just notice this body lying on the floor, remembering you have this body at this time. Bringing a deeper breath to the body. Still saying this relaxed as we stay awake for the rest of, this period of day. Start to move the limbs, move the hands, the feet. And then find your way up to seated. If you want to stay lying down, you can. Just remember to close your practice. And we will bring the hands to the knees, palms up, so that we can open up to our intention for the rest of this week. So every day we have an intention. Every time we have a task, we have an intention, so long as we're living consciously. And now we can also have an intention for the week, maybe the month, At this time, it's considering the week. How do I want to be? What is it that I want to accomplish this week? What state of mind I want to be in and rest in? Choose whatever it is that will mean something to you, that you can focus on in a very relaxed way. And we're planting a seed within the heart to grow this intention this week. Whatever it is, it will take a relaxed effort, just like a gardener. You'll go through the heart and mind every day, slowly tending to the seed so that it may sprout and grow. I'll bring the palms together. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And now we will also wish success for the world, that all beings may find happiness, health, peace. Chanting Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu 3 times. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste. Thank you for being here, and I wish you a beautiful day. Time to rest. If there is nothing for you to do today, maybe taking extra time to remember what today is for. These holidays are not just fun days off where we have excuses to do things. If we take them seriously and let them work in our soul, devoting a moment or even the day to keep revisiting what is the meaning of today, what is the meaning of today, the day becomes so meditative and meaningful, and we actually learn by immersing ourselves in the meaning of the holidays. We learn from them on a soul level deeper truths about the world, and about ourselves as well. So I wish you all love and peace, health and wellness. And I'll play the bowls for a couple minutes before I go.